Hello students, I welcome you all to Current Affairs Lectures by Azad ICS Academy, and today we are going to see the current affairs of 12th March. So before we start, let us see the question that we had discussed yesterday. The Union Railway Ministry's top priority as stated in the debate on Railway Amendment Bill is what? What is it exactly they want to do? Is it to increase the railway revenue? Obviously, no. Is it to expand the railway connectivity to rural areas? It's already there. So ensure railway safety, prioritize railway services. The answer here is obviously to ensure railway safety. And this is also because you can remember that we had Kumbh Mela that happened, and because of which there was a stampede that had happened in the railway station, due to which a lot of them have died. And to make sure or to reduce these kind of incidents, what railway ministry is trying to look after is the safety of that particular ministry, right? Or to look after the safety of railway is something that they are kind of focusing, is what we have to understand. So if you have such kind of questions, if you have a confusion, try to remember some of the events that have happened recently. So recently we have seen that in New Delhi there was a stampede that has happened, and due to which a lot of them have lost life, and we have also already discussed that particular topic as well in the previous classes. So what I would suggest you here is have a look at all those topics. Okay, have a look at all the previous days current affairs, or try to follow the channel every single day so that you are aware and are in touch with the current affairs, right? So I had discussed about that particular topic, and in the yesterday's lecture we have also discussed about this particular amendment bill, and we have seen why there are such kind of issues, etc. Right? So now let us see the topic for today. New greener electrochemical process turns urine into a plant fuel. So here we have a new greener electrochemical process. Let us see what is it exactly. This is related to the topic of science and technology. Scientists have discovered a new method of extracting urea from urine. So where any source of urine is there, from that we can extract a urine, enabling wastewater treatment and sustainable fertilizer production through carbamide formation. So we are going to look into this. This is a little scientific process. What they're going to do here is, see, in urine, okay, you have uric acid. So using urine, we are going to take urea, okay, a nitrogen rich compound is urine, and into a crystalline peroxide derivative called as carbamide. Okay. So here, what you have to do here, understand here is, we are going to take urine. Okay. From the urine, we are going to extract urea. How are we going to do it? We are going to convert it to first something called as percarbamide. That's how you pronounce it. Thus, it strikes two targets at once. So there are two things. It's like one stone hitting two birds. What are the two birds? The first is to reduce, so enabling the treatment of urine in urban areas. So what happens here is that whatever sanitation problems are there, all of that will be reduced. And another is, we are also forming something very useful out of these resources, that is converting that into a fertilizer, that is a urea. So these are the two things that we are going to do this. So what is the method? We'll discuss about this in detail. Okay. So in 17th century, a German alchemist named Hildebrand was on a quest and to find out a philosopher stone, a mysterious object that could turn an ordinary metal into gold. When he realized that the golden color was urine, the golden color of urine, he believed that it contained tiny particles of a precious metal. Brand then collected urine from himself, his family, and beer drinkers at his local pub and began distillating it in the hope of finding gold at the end. It was no gold, alas, but the silver lining to the brand's discovery of element prosperous. So here you can see that there's a story here. You don't have to remember the story, but he thought that, okay, urine is golden in color, so maybe he will get gold, is what he thought. And that's what he was thinking. But in fact, some called urine liquid gold, because it was loaded with elements that plants desire. So whatever urine that we are giving out contains all those things that a plant desires. So if you are going and urinating on a particular plant, then you're doing, I mean, if you think you're urinating on some unwanted plant, that means you're giving a lot of nutrients to it. So don't feel that you're, destroying it, because the waste product is packed with phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen in the form of urea, the big three nutrients that fuel plant grow and from the backbone of commercial fertilizers as well. So the urine that a human being is urinating, which is an unwanted thing for us, is a wanted thing for plants. That's why urine is also called. If somebody asks you what is a liquid gold, please understand urine is called as the liquid gold. Okay. A new electrochemical process can extract urea from urine in the form of solid. And this is what we have already discussed. So now what is going to happen here is, see, two birds, one stone. So a new electrochemical technique published in the Journal of Nature Catalyst now possesses to separate urea from urine in the solid form via greener, less energy consumption process. So the process will not consume more energy. This method converts urea, a nitrogen-rich compound in urine, into a crystalline peroxide derivative called as percarbamide. This we have anyways discussed in the previous slide as well. Thus, it strikes two targets at once, enabling the treatment of urea in the urban wastage and transforming it into a useful one. So, what are the two birds with one stone? One stone that we have is the urine, and we're going to take that urine and convert that urine into urea. When we are converting that urine into urea, you're utilizing the urine, so the waste management is happening, and you're converting it into urea, so you're producing something very useful from this particular resources. Humans obtain nitrogen from the food. See, whatever food that you eat. For example, if you're eating something which is protein, proteins consist of amino acids. So further, when you break down, you're going to get some nitrogen. So whatever food that you're going to eat, right? So I'm just giving you an example, right? If you eat rice, you're going to get glucose. Glucose is nothing but C6H12O6. So if you are eating rice, which is a form of glucose, that means you're getting carbon also, you're getting hydrogen also, you're getting oxygen also. Right? So similarly, when you're eating any food materials from there, you get a lot of nitrogen as well. So humans are getting nitrogen from the food, convert it into urea and excrete through urine. So excess of whatever new nitrogen is there, which is not required by the body, that will be put into our urine, or in the form of urine, you're urinating it. Such urea, since urea is rich in nitrogen, it is a potential to be natural fertilizer. So we can use this as a natural fertilizer. What? We can use urea as a natural fertilizer. In theory, returning the nutrients to the soil could complete the nitrogen cycle, but scientists currently lack efficient methods to extract urea directly from urine, leaving a crucial gap in the cycle. So there is a researchers at Hainan University, China, and the first author of a new study said, our team research fills this gap. So here we can see that recently we are also thinking about filling this particular gap. In China, they're also telling that this kind of a gap can be filled. Whatever human beings are consuming in the form of nitrogen, the urine can be converted to urea, which is going to be a potential chemical fertilizer or a natural fertilizer, because we're not using any chemicals over here. You're using urine, which is going to be a natural fertilizer, right? So now, see, let us understand the potential peeing cycle or a closed loop. Peeing cycle is nothing but pee is nothing but the urine. Okay. An adult process or produce around 450 to 680 liters of urine. Right. This is what the researchers are estimating by the study of 2002 study. The substance is 95% water, yet annual output also contains around 4 grams of nitrogen and 0.3 grams of phosphorus, enough to grow wheat for one loaf of bread every day for a whole year. So imagine with this much amount of urine, we can grow this much, or we can get this much amount of urea, and we can get this much amount of phosphorus. And I think that's a good news, because we can grow so much of wheat so that it can give us a bread every day, right? So this is something that is very important. Extracting these nutrients can reduce waste and benefit agriculture. These are the things that we have to understand. Now, what is the scientific process? It is so valuable. Why flush it down the toilet? The answer is that urea is complex system, and many of its components, especially salts, interfere the process that can extract urea alone from the waste. Shai said that the team study claims have jumped this barrier. So urea is made up of nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen, and is prone from hydrogen bonds with other molecules, including urea itself. When these bonds form a compound, physically and chemical properties tend to change. This tendency turn out the game changer in the separation process. See, basically what happens here is, what is the scientific process? Let us understand. See, urea forms a bond. Now what happens here is, urea will form a bond with hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen peroxide, or creating carbides and stable salt. These solid releases oxygen and makes useful chemical reaction. Researchers use a lot of graphite also to make the separate that they have anyways told here. See, when urea forms hydrogen bond with hydrogen peroxide, it forms a percarbide, a white crystalline solid that can be precipitated out. So you can remove this particular thing because it is now urea is forming a bond with hydrogen. This can be removed out. Okay. That is called as what? When urea is connected with the hydrogen, this is called as what? It is called as percarbide amine. Carbamide, right? So this is going to be a white crystal that can be removed out. Okay, that can be precipitated, means it can be removed out from the urea with high purity. Okay, this carbamide is known as the ability to steadily release active hydrogen. So this particular chemical that we have can release what? Oxygen, making it valuable candidate to process that needs supply oxygen and other chemical reactions. Another key threat of this substance is ability to accelerate and recover urine from urea. So from this, we can just separating the hydrogen, we can recover urea also from urine, and it can also produce carbon dioxide, oxygen. So these are the two things that carbamide can do. To take advantages of this property, the researchers developed it in situ electrochemical technique, okay, which uses a graphite carbon based catalyst to convert urea into urine into percarbamide. So how are they converting it? They are using a graphite carbon based catalyst. Okay, so there is a word called catalyst. I'll tell you what is the meaning of catalyst. Catalyst is something that do not take place in the reaction but help the reaction. Okay, so for example, if there are two people and to make these two people come together, there is a mediator. This mediator's work is only to bring them together, right? If, for example, if you go to a marriage bureau, the marriage bureau is acting just like a mediator. The marriage bureau is not a part of this family or not a part of this family. Anyways, it's just trying to fix these two to come together. So similarly, catalyst is going to help this particular reaction to happen, but catalyst itself is not going to take part in the reaction, right? Achieving almost 100% purity, the team used this process to effectively extract percarbide from both human and animal urine. Not just human beings, from other animal urines also you can use it. While the result was promising, the true focus of the researchers was something else, right? So we have to understand this process here. Benefits are going to be very much, because future benefits are going to be researchers aim to expand this method to improve resource recycling. The process enables slow nitrogen release for better crop growth also. Okay, it connects wastewater treatment with sustainable agriculture. So you can see that we are able to do waste management as well as we are able to do sustainable agriculture. This is something that we have to understand for our, futuristic plans. This is a very good thing that we have for us, right? So hence, this is about the first important topic. Now, the second important topic that we have is Bharati to bring Starlink's satellite net service to India. So this is related to important topic, that is Bharti Airtel has signed a distribution agreement to sell SpaceX Starlink services in India, aiming to expand high-speed satellite internet connectivity to rural areas also. So we are trying to come up with a lot of connectivity to the rural areas also. See, in COVID, we have seen that people are doing online classes. This is only helpful for urban areas where a lot of people have phone, net connection, etc. But we have seen that a lot of urban people have a lot of issues, especially they are not able to access the schools. They are not able to access basic internet facilities because of no proper internet. So both the firms will explore offering Starlink equipment at Airtel retail stores and provide services via Airtel to business customers. They plan to connect community schools and health care centers also in the rural areas, not just urban areas, but also in the rural areas. However, Starlink must secure approvals from the Department of Telecommunication and Ministry of Home Affairs before launching the operations. Right now, the talks are happening. It is not yet started because Starlink has to take a lot of permissions from the Department of Telecommunication. This is something that we need to understand. It is supposed to take a lot of information or permissions from Department of Telecommunication and Ministry of Home Affairs. Right? So these are the two departments which Starlink has to take part with or has to take permissions from. Okay, now first let us understand what is Starlink. Starlink is a satellite-based internet services provided by SpaceX, a company founded by Elon Musk. Okay, so first thing is this. Starlink is nothing but it is a SpaceX is the name of the company. Okay. Starlink is nothing but it is a satellite based internet service. Okay. A company that is founded by whom? Elon Musk. Okay. It has owned, Elon Musk owned satellite firm, and the name of this particular this thing is SpaceX. Okay. Now it aims to provide high speed internet latency, okay, access global, especially remote and undiverse areas, somewhere where internet cannot go or internet cannot reach. That is where they are trying to provide this particular network. Okay. Now, however, Starlink would get necessary authorizations from the Department of Telecommunication and Ministry of Home Affairs before it commences operation in India. Airtel and SpaceX will explore offers Starlink equipment in Airtel retail stores. Starlink services via Airtel to business customers, opportunities to connect communities, schools, healthcare, among the many others. Even in the most rural parts of India, Bharti said, that is Airtel is saying this. This collaboration enhances our ability to bring world-class high-speed broadnet even to the most remote parts of India, ensuring that every individual business and community has a reliable net, said Bharti Airtel Managed Director and the Vice Chairman Gopal Vittal. Starlink will complement and enhance Airtel's suite to product to ensure reliable and affordable broadband for our Indian customers wherever they live and work, he added. So you have to understand that this is what they're going to do. How are they doing this? So before we go to the question, we will see how are they doing this is because, see, the network consists of thousands of small satellites. Okay, this particular Starlink network will consist of what? We'll have small thousands of satellites. And where are these satellites placed? They are placed in the LEO. See, this is your Earth. Okay. If the orbit is very close to Earth, then it is called as LEO. That is low Earth orbit. Here, LEO stands for low Earth orbit. And in between you have MEO and then you have high Earth orbit. So like this, we'll not go to this too. But here we are going to put in a lot of small satellites. How many satellites? They are going to be around thousands of small satellites to ensure fast. And so why we are doing this? So that there is fast and reliable network, okay, or reliable connectivity. So users access the service through Starlink dish and a router. So here you will have a dish, like how you have this kind of dish. So, or there will be a router kind of, a small set of box kind of thing. So dish will be used or a router will be used. Okay, if you are a receiver, maybe on your house, you can put this or something like that. So you can get the satellite connectivity. This supports applications such as online streaming, gaming videos, calls, remote work, etc. Starlink is expanding worldwide and government approval before operating in specific countries. So Starlink is trying to do this with many countries, and everywhere it is trying to operate, just waiting for the approval from different countries. So this is a very good thing that Starlink is trying to do. Let us see the questions that we have for today. What is the Starlink's primary service offering? Okay, this is something that we have to understand. Mobile phone network, satellite-based network services, cable television services, cloud control or cloud storage solution. And the second question that I have for today here is, before starting operations in India, what approvals does Starlink need to obtain? Okay, so you have to answer these two questions. Try to put your answers in the comment section. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's lecture with 2 or 3 important topics of tomorrow. Thank you so much.